Hey guys, it's Ian from the Autobarn Volkswagen. Right behind me, we have the 2025 Kia K5. And as you've probably seen by the title, my question is this the most fun value sedan on the market right now? So there's multiple reasons why I asked that question in the first place. Number one being how this car looks. And we'll get into the particulars of the entire car. I'll do a full rock around and everything. But just look how aggressive it looks as a total. Last time I checked, what I remembered Kia for is having that commercial with the 4 hamsters riding around in that cube looking car for a Super Bowl commercial or something. But you just look around this car, it's a completely different vibe. The second reason is how many features are in this car, right? Feature wise, how much convenient stuff there is, how easy the car is to use. And the third reason is the performance. What this car has power-wise in regards to how much it costs, in my opinion, is quite good value, especially considering the two first factors that I mentioned. Before I get into the features, before I get into the power, first we're going to go on the interior, the exterior, look at just how everything looks, right? So first off, as always, we have the Kia badging, and it has a nice metallic look to it, which I think is nice, right? Like I said, front bumper is quite aggressive. You know, Kia really made some good decisions recently with how they want their headlights to look and everything. You know, it really started off with like cars like the Stinger and stuff like that made people really perceive Kia as more sporty. You can see right here we have some of the sensors for park distance control as well as adaptive cruise control sensors. And you can even just see the shape of that lip right there, how it looks, how it really changes everything, right? Nice thing about this, 16-inch black alloy wheels, body color matching cladding on the lower 2 doors. You can even see right here, keyless access. All you gotta do is press this when you have the key in your pocket. It'll lock or it will unlock. Body color matching rear view mirrors, blind spot monitor symbol right there that lights up, chrome surround that extends all the way from the front to the rear, and it follows all the way around back here. We have the black glossy window trim with the lower black trim, body color matching door handles, and you can see it doesn't necessarily have a spoiler right here, but it has a little, you know what I mean, that shape to it that looks very nice. With one of the backup cameras right here. This car doesn't have the 360 view, but it does have a ton. I'll actually say that for later, so forget that. I'm gonna show you, it'll be a surprise, right? We have this light bar that extends the entirety. It looks really nice. And it also kind of continuation of how the front headlights look as well, in terms of design, right? And this really sporty looking diffuser. And as you can see right here and right here, we also have some of those parking sensors right there as well. So right here are some parking sensors, so you can kind of also see. In terms of space, there's a ton of space, right? Right here we have a nice storage area for your phone. This model, since it's the base, doesn't have the wireless charging, but even then, this is an amazing spot to have your phone. You know, there's a lot of shade because of how this is angled. So even then, your phone won't overheat from being over here. Nice different sized cup holders with this nice center console with a decent amount of room. These are cloth seats, but they're actually quite comfortable in my opinion, you know. And they also don't even feel like they'd be hard to clean either, if that makes sense. Like, as in water or anything would kind of bounce off of it. And I would know because I'm a detailer, or I used to be. And so that's how it feels. The only complaint so far is where the start button is located. So you can see an average person, when they first get into this car, they're going to be a little bit confused of, where the heck is this button? And so it's not even really visible unless you start to know, but that's not really a big complaint, I would say. In terms of how the speakers look, I like how the speakers look. And there's a decent amount of room right here. I will say, I'm not sure why they have the cup holder kind of pointed in a diagonal way when they could have just made it up and down. And you can see, at least in this driver door, it doesn't feel like there's as much space to put stuff in. But what I do like is that there's this soft material right here, almost kind of like a leatherette material, where you can use as an armrest, which feels nice. And this cool kind of, I don't know what it is necessarily, but you can kind of see it right there. It has a nice feel to it. As you can see as well, each back door has the same type of design for the speakers, the same soft leatherette material, the same door trim, as well as the same cup holder, and obviously open power window controls. So I didn't adjust any of the seats in the front at all, and I still have quite a bit of room, even though the front seats were backed up a bit. There's this big pocket right here, which you can fit tablets, and you can fit a laptop in there probably, right? And you're just looking at it, I'm about 5'9", 5'10". There's this much room in me. You can bring anybody you want on a trip. And mind you, for a base model, it's also pretty surprising how many USB-C ports there are. And feel this carpet. It's nice and soft. It's not this type of hard carpet that usually comes in the base model cars like the Hondas and Toyotas that you literally can't vacuum anything out of. This is the nice soft stuff. Right here we have a cup holder armrest. We have some decent amount of room right here above the trunk. As you can see on the key fob as well, we do have a power lift gate, which opens. There we go. I was scared for a second. Really look at how much space there is in this vehicle, right? I don't even know how much space. This is how the mats look, by the way. They have the nice K5 badging, which I think looks very sporty. And what you do if you want to push the front or the second row seating down, you just pull this and you pull this, and I'll show you guys 1 second how that looks like in the front. One, let me not forget that we have a 60-40 split as well. And look at all of this space. You can really fit, I mean, if you really needed to, you could turn this into a sleeping situation, I think. Right here is the engine bay on this vehicle. And I think I forgot to mention, but this is a pre-owned vehicle that we got as a trade-in. Extremely nice. We were extremely happy to get it, right? So this is a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine, meaning that it gets good fuel economy. I think it's combined 30 miles to the gallon for fuel economy, while also having 191 horsepower, 8-speed automatic, and 181 pounds-feet of torque. So this car is quite fun, while also, what I'll say is this car is a good daily car. That's a good way to put it. Or better way to put it, a fun daily. All right, guys, so before we actually do a test drive, I did want to show you guys the interior and all the different functions. So first off, going to the steering wheel, the different volume controls right here, different mode control right here, voice control, hang up button, favorites button. Cool thing about the favorites button, you could set your favorite to navigate to your home. So whenever you're going home somewhere, you just got in the car, you don't feel like searching it up on the navigation system, whatever, just press that button, you'll be headed home that easy, right? Right on the left side of the wheel, we have the traction control button, the hood release button, or trunk release is what I meant. And then this button that I actually don't even know what it means. Maybe it's the brightness. Okay, yes, it's the brightness level. My apologies. Or brightness of the headlights, I believe. Right on here, this is a different display option. So you can see the different cruise control options right there, the tire display. And even if you want to look at the current trip, different data right here, as you can see. Obviously right here, you can see the different gear. Excuse the stuttering, Jesus. We also have a displayed, the speed limit right here, which it'll also show you. Right here, there's different settings for the adaptive cruise control and those type of settings as well. But cool thing about this digital cockpit is that instead of having dials normally, it actually displays in this way. So since the car is in park, I'll give it a quick rev so you can see. So it's at 0.7, revs, right? And so if I rev it real quick, you can see what I mean. It's cool, and it does the same thing with the miles per hour as well. Always, we have all the headlight stuff on this side, as well as all of the windshield wiper stuff on this right side. Shifter is pretty standard as well. All you gotta do is just press this button on the left side, pull it back. But what you can do is, as you can see right here, this vehicle does have Tiptronic, meaning that you can just push it to the left. And as you can see where the gear is, you see a 1 right there. Push it up 1. Now we have a 2 right there. But since I don't know how to drive manual, unfortunately, we're gonna put it back in park right there. Right here is where you toggle all the different driving modes. What you do is either turn to the left, turn to the right. And so you can see right there, it'll show up on the screen. So you have My Drive, which is customizable, Sport, which is pretty obvious, right? And then we have the normal mode. Right here, we have auto start and stop. You can press this button to turn it off because some people do find it annoying, although it does give you good mile per gallon, right? The auto hold button right here, electronic parking brake, parking cameras, and then parking sensors. One thing that's pretty cool is that these USB-C ports are lit up. And one thing I've never seen before is, look at this. It's a 12 volt. It pops open like that. I've never seen that before in a car. Right here is all the climate control. It's really simple to use. You just toggle it with these little dials right here. Passenger has their own as well. Different fan speed is toggled right here. You just tap it. And this is a very responsive touchscreen, which is very nice as well. Cool thing about this, you have the front and the rear defroster, and you can actually change what's displayed right here by pressing this right here. And now you have all the different shortcuts. You have the home button, you have the map, search, which you can search up all the different features that you might want to find, seek, track, media, setup, and makes it extremely easy. And then this will also change into a volume changer as well. And then on this side, it says file, and then it says time, or tune, I mean. Before we do go into infotainment, we'll head right up here. Obviously, this is the button you want to turn on if you want the lights to turn on when the doors are open. The Kia Connect, you can get on the phone with the Kia representative. The SOS button, right? All buttons are nice and useful. For reference, this is also what the reading lights look like. And if you go down, you have a vanity mirror with lights. And they come on and off, which is actually really cool. Thing, we also do have the children window lock as well. Now, in terms of the infotainment and the digital cockpit, as you can see, they're both connected, and each screen itself is 12 inches. So there's a ton of screen in this vehicle. Essentially, how you access anything is by pressing the home button. And as you can see right here, it says guest. What you would do is you can actually set up different driver profiles in the same way you might set up different Netflix profiles and customize how you want the drive to feel, right? You can do the app connect right here, phone projection, valet mode, vehicle diagnostics, different setup buttons, service maintenance, online manual. So if you go to the vehicle settings, there's all these other settings right here. So driver assistance, you can look at every single little thing that Kia offers when it comes to driver assistance and customize that. Going back one, you can look at the different driver modes, set it up through here, the different climate controls, the lighting, the door, the convenience settings, which we look right here. Change things as the screensaver and the split screen, as well as change how everything is laid out if you would like to. Change the theme of how this digital cockpit looks like, as well as also, you can see how the color is changing right here, and it matches the color on this screen as well. So we have kind of a green looking color. Now we have a red. And so it'll look different as well. So you can actually also link it to driver's mode. So once you're in comfort, whether you're in normal, whether you're in your own different driver style, now it'll change. As you can see, this car also comes with App Connect for both Android and iOS, which is always useful. But in terms of all this stuff on the interior, I think we basically just about covered everything, and now we can do a little test drive. Before I do forget, however, the new key fob has a lot of settings on it, and I believe this does have a redesign. What I've been told is that this actually looks a lot more high quality than what ones Kia had in the past. So let's look at some of the things. Obviously right here is the lock, the unlock, the trunk hold, the panic button. Then right here is the remote start, which I'll show you right now. Okay, I did it wrong. I figured it out now. So what you do, lock it once, lock it twice, flip around, and it should work. There we go. So you gotta lock it twice, then press the, and then you gotta hold down on this button right here. One last demonstration. This car does come with keyless access. All you gotta do is look at this button right here. See how it's locked right now? Press this button. Good. Lock it, press this button. See, really that easy. Okay guys, I'm gonna do a test drive right now. What I'll do is I will put it in sport mode just so you guys can see, but couldn't find anybody to do this test drive with me. Don't do this at home. Don't drive with a camera in your hand, mind you. But I just did want to show you guys how it felt. So even off the jump, it feels a little bit, it's quite responsive, I'll say. All right. So that's not actually such a bad blinker noise. I know a lot of cars have a terrible sounding one. All right, for half a second, I'm gonna hit it real quick. So as you can see, that's how the speedometer looks like when it's like that. So it feels quite nice. I'm gonna slow down before I get arrested. Put the blinker on. Show you guys how it turns. You can really hear it too. It sounds nice. All right, turning. See, it's really zippy. I like how it feels. It feels nice. You just hit your foot on the gas for half a second and you can just feel it jerk real quick. So it feels nice. And what I'm gonna do right here is I'll do a little left turn so you guys can maybe see that how, I mean, it's nothing really to see differently versus a right turn, but I'm not gonna be too irresponsible on this little drive real quick. I don't wanna get arrested or anything. Oops, let's get to the right side of the road. Oops. All right. And I'm gonna turn around, and I mean, this is basically all you guys really need to see, isn't it? But I'm not recording it. Now the sensor's actually working. See what I mean? See how it's changing the shape as well? So now it's gone, but we'll see if I move forward. This vehicle. Okay, that should be good. So this is Ian the next day. I forgot to include that video that I recorded about, is this the best fun value sedan in the market right now? My answer is no, but it's close. And the reason why I say no is that, for one, it's still at the MSRP of $28,000. Obviously, this one is a pre-owned, which I'll have all the info in the description, right? Because it is still a very good quality, right? But outside of that, I still think the GLI, the Volkswagen Jetta GLI, still has a bit more features to it, a bit more power, a lot more better build quality and other things like that. So I'm still putting that one above this, even despite there's a little bit of a price difference, but I still think the value of the GLI is a bit higher, even if it's the higher price tag. Either way, if you guys are interested in this vehicle in particular, please call me at 708-773-5440, and I'm gonna put my email around either here, right here, and same with my phone number, right here or right here. All right, guys, have a nice one. Info's in the description as well. Bye.